kids, we're going to talk about biblical adventures today. This was a Kickstarter put on by a guy I know, actually, Chris Gyrich. I actually have talked to him on the phone a few times. I've known him in an online capacity for many, many years. We were even going to work on some projects together until I flaked out on him. And Chris, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I publicly apologize to you because I never completed any work on the stuff he wanted me to do, and I feel terrible. But anyway, I saw that he did this Kickstarter for these biblical adventures figures. I think it was a couple of years back now, and they're shipping now. People are getting them in their hands. And I got the two I had ordered, so I thought I would do a little review of them. Little history on me. I used to be a much more religious lad than I have become now. And back in my teen years, back in mid to late 90s, I had actually made my own custom figures of like the armor of God and like the Revelation Jesus, with the sword coming out of his mouth and the crown and blood dipped robe and all that stuff. Because I was, it was my interests, and action figures were my interests. And so I had made some custom figures. They didn't survive. I have no idea where they are these days. But yeah, that was like the Toy Biz Marvel era. So I had used some of those figures to make some stuff back then. So that being said, it seems like these would be right in my wheelhouse. These biblical adventures figures are heroes from the Bible. I think there's Samson and John the Baptist and of course Jesus and lots of other stuff. The way my collecting works these days, I didn't think a lot of them were right for kind of the things I buy. And so I ended up going with just the Fontaine Saint Michael. I'm going to mispronounce a lot of stuff, so let's just roll with it. Fontaine Saint Michael is based on a statue of the Archangel Michael, and it's a wonderful sculpt. It's got a real kind of copper looking finish to it. He's got lots of different hands. He's got a sword. He's got some cloth goods on here. As you can see, these wings are removable, and they're really nicely done. Some good posing opportunities, different joints. And it just plugs right in the back here. And he's got this little base to stand on. And like I said, he's got a lot of extra accessories. He has this one shield. I threw all the accessories in here. He's got this other shield, which actually I almost like more. They're both good. He's got some extra feet, some extra hands. He's got some sandaled feet and different hands for different poses. I won't necessarily get into all that, but yeah, some nice sandaled feet. And then I also got, and this was a Kickstarter, I believe it was a Kickstarter exclusive, Translucent Jesus. For whatever reason, I didn't feel right about getting a regular Jesus. That's my own hang-up. Nothing against what Chris has done. It's a fantastic sculpt. But when I saw he was offering this translucent Jesus, I was like, all right, I gotta get that. I gotta. He offered it as an add-on, and I had to throw that on there too. in the meantime, I've heard that there's even a glow-in-the-dark Jesus, and if that is true, I might need to track that down because I am a sucker for glow-in-the-dark stuff. But, hey, quick update. I thought this Jesus, this translucent one, was just blacklight reactive, but check it out. I'm going to turn the blacklight off. It glows in the dark. Cool. Yeah, this is a real fun figure. Again, he's got a cloth robe. Some really nice things, like he's got wiring in the sort of the hem, and so you can actually like pose it and it stays. And he's got extra hands. I really liked this Sacred Heart hand. It's kind of hard to see here, but it's translucent and small, but it's the Sacred Heart symbol, logo thing that a lot of art of Jesus has. Now, one thing I'd like to bring up, well, first of all, without being too weird, there's a lot of great articulation. I know I'm hiking up Jesus' skirt here, but a lot of great standard articulation you would expect on any modern action figure. Worth their money. But one thing I found really interesting and that I really appreciated about these biblical adventures figures was he seemed to have based a lot on artwork, which I can totally get behind. That makes a lot of sense to me. And I do want to show you the packaging here. It's wonderful, wonderful packaging. D23 Toys is his company, and made it look like an old book, an old Bible. Says the name up there, and so you open it up. It's got some wonderful artwork inside. It's got a little bit about company and the journey he's gone on. There's a page with some more text, and the packaging itself totally collector friendly. You can take this little thing off. This is where the figure was sitting. He's got these trays in there. He's got even more artwork inside. This little thing was wrapped around the box like this. It's a little seal. It's hard to get it back in, so I'm not going to do that right now. And yeah, there's some wonderful artwork in there. But I dropped a critical accessory down here. Silica gel packet. Sorry, Chris, I ate it. I ripped it open and I ate some of it. You can't tell, but it was delicious. The translucent Jesus came in this other packaging. I'm gonna put this back here so you don't see my dog stuff back there. Which is kind of cool. I don't know if I know the story behind this. It says John Smith, 123 Main Street, Anytown, USA. Biblical Adventures. It's not quite as fancy as the Bible box, but that's fine. Yeah, this was the Kickstarter exclusive Transfiguration Blue Jesus. And then there's some Greek lettering. Greek text, I should say. But yeah, this is fun. I mean, inside is just standard tray and whatnot. But these are really well done figures, really well made. I am quite pleased with how they turned out. I mean, if you see the statue for real of this, I mean, or at least in photos, the likeness is right up there for the actual statue, and it's just a very impressive figure. And I grabbed some other figures to compare it to of the similar genres. We'll stick these in here with here, for example, G.I. Joe. This is Snake Eyes. I brought him in because I got the same tattoo. We're brothers. One of my favorites from when I was a kid. Here's a Monster Force figure, another kind of comparable smaller company figure. They're not all going to want to stand here. If you want to see a movie figure like from NECA, here's a Beetlejuice. Of course, those are a little bit bigger. Boy, this is compelling. I'm gonna have to get some of these guys out of here. But yeah, here's Beetlejuice also holding a heart. Hey, brother. And then here, these are maybe the most interesting, I think. If we put in Indiana Jones here, here's the arc that came with Indy. I think these, the Biblical Adventures figures would fit in really well with the Indiana Jones line. I didn't pick up any of the other ones, like I had said, but maybe I should have, because they would have really fit in with the Indy figures, which is probably one set that I've completed lately. All the Hasbro Indiana Jones figures. And here's a Marvel legend, or God of Mischief himself, Loki. But yeah, so the Biblical Adventures figures fit right in with a lot of the modern lines. Let's put Todd McFarlane back here. I don't know. He might be cut off. He's too tall anyway. Sorry, Todd, you're out of here. Put your shoes back on. So, if you're able to pick up any of these Biblical Adventures figures, I know they're still out there. They're still available. And I know Chris has been going to lots of conventions, and there's lots of convention exclusives and lots of cool stuff out there. I encourage you to pick them up, support small businesses, and Chris is a good guy, so even better, extra bonus. See you later, kids. Well, here is the translucent Jesus on my glowing shelf with other translucent and glow-in-the-dark stuff. The dogs want to know what's going on. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Hi, Max. Is Marty out there too? Why? You wondering why I'm in the office with the door closed? Where's Marty? Marty? Is he out there too? No? Okay, bye, Max.